Guided meditation, mindful gardening. There's a lot of talk about mindfulness recently, and it's now accepted that carrying out any task mindfully is beneficial for alleviating mental stress. It's when we focus, really focus, on any task that we're doing, however menial, that we can gain this inner peace and tranquility. So, let's give it a try. We'll be focusing today on plants and gardening. To start off your focus, you should have a flower, plant, or leaf to concentrate on initially. So if necessary, arrange for that now. Okay. In the usual way, make yourself comfortable, sitting, lying, or standing, whichever you prefer. Make sure you're warm and in a place where you won't be disturbed for the next 15 minutes or so. If the weather's welcoming, you could even do this outside as a real physical activity. But for general use throughout the year, we'll use visualization here as the main thread. When you've settled, focus on your breathing for a moment or two, feeling the air passing over your nostril area. Focus on your breathing, breathing in and out. Now, bring your attention to your chosen point of focus, your flower, plant, or leaf. Focus. Half close your eyelids so that you can see your focal point, but in a slightly fuzzy way. Focus. Focus. You're feeling more relaxed. Your mind is full of thoughts about your plant or flower. Look at the colours. Look at the texture of the leaves or petals. Look at the overall shape and symmetry of your flower or plant. Wonder at the magic of its growth from a tiny seed. Now, either physically, if you're outside, or within your visualization, draw your point of vision back to see a wider area, a greater variety of flowers, plants, or even weeds. Consider the life that is represented in this small section of your real or visualized garden. Think of the possibilities of the plants interacting, even communicating with each other. Think of the root system stretching out underneath the ground, radiating, supporting, nurturing. think of that root system. Focus for that for a moment. Think of the soil which is supporting this root system, both physically and through nourishment. Think of the insects, the worms, the microorganisms which are present in this soil, all helping to support this verdant microcosm which lies before us. Focus on this for a moment. Now, in your visualization, imagine that you're tending a small area of garden. How do you differentiate between plants and weeds? When does a weed become acceptable ground cover to suppress other weeds? When do you have to limit this ground cover because the plants or weeds are taking over your border? Ponder on these questions for a moment. Focus on the ground near your feet. Can you see the plants and the weeds on this small area of ground? They're all plants, really, all growing with roots in the soil and leaves stretching towards the sun. Depending on the time of year, some of the plants may have flowers to attract the bees and other insects. How do you make a choice as to which plants you will remove? Ponder on this for a moment. Make your selection. Focus on the designated weeds that you've decided to remove. Consider each as an individual, to be removed carefully with thought, with mindfulness. It is a living being which is giving up its life in order to make your flower border appear more attractive, or to allow your vegetable seedlings to gain more benefit from the sun's rays. Give thought to each weed as you remove it from the soil. Focus on what you're doing. Continuing with the same mindful actions, visualize yourself working through a border or area of garden, removing the plants that you have decided should not be part of your display. The decision is yours. The actions taken on these plants are the result of your decision. You have chosen to use a trowel or spade to remove some of the plants, those that you have designated as being weeds. In effect, deciding which are not appropriate to include in your display. Each of these decisions has been yours. Visualize that you've been bending down for a while, so it's time to straighten your back. Flex your shoulders and breathe more deeply, inflating your chest. Focus on your breathing once more, inflating and deflating. Stretch your shoulders backwards, feeling your chest expanding. Do this several times. Think of each action you are making in the garden as being a conscious decision. You may be doing the same action multiple times. You may be removing many weeds or planting many seeds or plug plants. But each individual task is an action which has an effect on something, as well as affecting you as well. Ponder on that for a moment. Now picture yourself standing in the garden, your visualized or real garden. Feel your feet resting flat on the ground. Sense the energy rising from the ground through your feet. Hold that thought for a moment. Now sense the energy from the sun, that same energy that the plants in your garden are benefiting from, entering your body through your crown chakra. Feel this energy from earth and sun. Feel it charging your body, as indeed it charges each and every plant in your garden. Feel this energy building in your heart center, building, growing. Consider the possibility that others are meditating in this same way, focusing on individual plants, the energy contained within them, and the same energy building within their heart centers. Feel this composite energy growing and developing. Feel really mindful of the energy emanating from these plants, from the soil, and from all these people working mindfully in their own virtual gardens. Feel the group energy building. And when you're ready, regenerate this energy through your heart center and send it forth out into the world to benefit the land, Gaia, and all the plant world carpeting the surface of the earth. Send out the light. And now once again, in your own time, focus on your breathing. As you breathe more deeply and regularly, gradually bring yourself back to the present moment, standing looking out over your visualized garden. Feel its power and energy. You are at peace, Your visualized garden and plants are at peace, grateful for the mindful attention that you've been giving to them. The plants send their thanks for your consideration. You are at one with your heart center, your God center, the center of your being. And when you're ready, open your eyes gently and come back totally into the room. You are at one with yourself and with nature around you. Be still. I'm Chris Sangster, author of Stumbles Along the Spiritual Way. I bring you blessings and joy as we explore that spiritual way together. Thank you.